to kind of continue with what you had asked, Rodney, about, like you guys, the homeless issues that you guys deal with, it's like homelessness isn't a crime, right? I think that one of the statistics, and people that watch this that are data driven and statistics and want to fact checked, there's like, I think it was upwards 70% of the American people are one paycheck away from being homeless themselves. Right. So when you start looking at like homelessness isn't a crime. It's the things that are done, like, so for instance, here in Salem, in the city of Salem, it is against the law to camp downtown. In the city of Kaiser, it is against the law to camp downtown, right? So it's the crimes that are being committed. It's not the fact that they're homeless. It's the other things, and unfortunately, even just the camping component isn't really the majority of the things that are going on, right? It's the defecating in front of stores and businesses, or the, defecating in public, period, or, the using now, as of September 1, using in public again is now illegal. So it's the other things. So I think that sometimes people get this misconstrued idea that homelessness is a crime. Homelessness isn't a crime. It's the other things that go along with it, so.
Yeah, and to clarify one thing, though, Salem has an ordinance against camping in the city. However, and correct me because it's been, 6-8 months since I've been working, but there was some case law where people have the right to rest. And so it's very tricky for law enforcement to move people along when they're on a public right-of-way or property and they're sleeping, because they're technically, if they use the right verbiage, they're resting, and it removes the authority of the officers to move them along, or if in a worst case scenario, take enforcement action, arrest them for something related to that. So that's one of the inherent challenges in dealing with people that are homeless or houseless, whatever the PC term is now. Has anything changed with that in the last?
So there's been several case laws. There was the one out of Grants Pass. That one got overturned. So the ordinances can stay. But however, the one that you're talking about, as far as I know, is still in play. And so it's just that game of how long have they been there? Who's complaining? Is this a business? Is it private property? There's a whole litany of things that kind of come into play.
And I think that that's really good information for folks to have, right? Because there's a lot of, misconstrued understanding, misrepresentation, not the full truth around different things, right? And so the public has, their perception or idea. And so I think that that's one of the really cool things, with having you, is to be able to have some answers around what is, right? Because a lot of times the public is like, why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't. And they're like, you're supposed to do, I can't. And not understanding that is also a big deal.
Agreed.
So we're 79.
79, all right.